Here at the New York Auto Show, where the sleekest models vie for attention like debutantes at a ball, a Cinderella is upstaging them all. Hyundai, the Korean car maker once considered a joke, is the only one actually gaining on its rivals in this recession.
We often hear that business is a marathon and not a sprint. But I'll tell you, for the auto industry today, it's more like a marathon with gale force winds, right?
North American CEO John Krafchick, who cut his teeth at Ford, is quickly moving up in the pack.
We have had a good run, and we like to say at Hyundai, flat is the new up, right? If that qualifies as a Cinderella story, yeah, maybe so.
Late last year, when unemployment surged, Hyundai pounced. It offered a security blanket called the Assurance Program. Hyundai would take back newly purchased cars if the owners lost their jobs.
We found half of all car buyers had taken themselves out of the market, and of those half, 3/4 were doing it because they were afraid of losing their job. So Assurance kind of came from that insight.
It worked. Sales of the Sonata, a modestly priced sedan, jumped 85% in January. GM and Ford followed suit with similar programs 3 months later.
Hyundai! 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 Hyundai!
The company is spending a fortune buffing its U.S. image just as Detroit is pulling back. When GM dropped out of sponsoring the Academy Awards, Hyundai quickly moved in with 7 commercials. It also advertised during the Super Bowl.
It's Hyundai, like Sunday.
We hear Hyundai, Hyundai. Even my mom mispronounces it, unfortunately.
What does she say?
She uses Hyundai.
Hyundai's Cinderella story has been decades in the making. In the 80s and 90s, its first cars sold here became the butt of jokes, symbols of cheap and unreliable imports.
They really want the quality to be good.
The real turning point came 10 years ago when Hyundai backed its cars with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, the first automaker to do so. Sales tripled. Now, every single model that comes off the assembly line is put through its paces.
This is called kickdown. We accelerate to 70 miles an hour, and then we test the brake, checking for vibration.
By last year, Consumer Reports stamped its approval on 2 models. In January, Hyundai's new luxury sedan, the Genesis, earned top honors at the Detroit Auto Show, and buyers are taking note.
In this recession, does one car company stand out?
Yeah. Among established auto companies, Hyundai is the only one that's taking an offensive approach, taking advantage of this crisis to improve its position.
Half of the Hyundais sold in the U.S. are made in Alabama at this sprawling 5-year-old plant in Montgomery. 4,000 workers, including 800 robots. It takes only 18 hours from the moment rolled steel is stamped into various parts through the assembly until a new car rolls off the line. Inspections every step of the way.
I check the cars for scrapes, dents, light paint issues that might come from other areas in the plant.
So what sets Hyundai apart? Flexibility for one thing. The workers here, all non-union, are trained for multiple tasks.
The tires I put on the VIN labels. Basically I can do anything on this line.
Nearly all hourly employees here have no prior experience in the auto industry. Fast food joints provide some of the very best training, according to Hyundai executives.
I heard some of your best workers come from the Waffle House.
Oh yes, that's so true, because when you think about it, the Waffle House, what do you have to do all day? Stand on your feet, multitask, and also, have a good attitude, because that's the kind of people we look for here at Hyundai.
When sales slow, production is scaled back to 3 or 4 days a week. Unlike the other automakers, Hyundai has not laid off any full-time workers. The factory fine-tunes its product mix based on consumer demand.
So when there was a weakening demand for the SUV, we were able to make more Sonatas with 4-cylinder engines and meet that consumer demand again.
And how quickly could you do that?
Again, within 24 hours, we're making that transition.
The line workers here earn about $22 an hour, a few dollars less than their Detroit counterparts, but far more than other non-auto factories pay in Alabama. Hyundai did not receive federal bailout funds, but it did get more than $260 million in state taxpayer money to help build its $1.4 billion plant, an investment that Hyundai says has already paid off.
That was 3,000 additional jobs just at the plant. Then you have the ripple effect. We have suppliers, 35 suppliers in the state of Alabama alone. Basically, the economic model says about 30,000 jobs were created when this plant was built right here in Montgomery, Alabama. That's significant.
Hyundai's biggest advantage may be its young, non-union workforce. Unlike the Big Three, it isn't saddled with health care costs for generations of retirees. And like other foreign-owned plants popping up mainly in the South, it represents a seismic upheaval.
These plants are very efficient, they're low cost, they're high quality and flexible, and for that reason, there is a new, quite vital auto industry in the U.S.
And Hyundai is now a serious global contender, overtaking Chrysler to take 5th place behind Toyota, GM, Ford, and Volkswagen.
Number 5, poised to take over the world?
No.
You say you're very ambitious.
We are an ambitious company, but we're ambitious from the point of view of wanting to build the very best automobiles in the world.
So the former laughingstock has finally arrived. No longer the butt of jokes, this Korean Cinderella is now stealing the show. I'm Chris Bury for Nightline in New York.